Welcome to Comic Movie 10, where you get insight into everything comic book movies and television related in 10 minutes or less. I'm Joe Kane.
And I'm Dan Kane. No
relation.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe and share and keep up with us at hecklerkane.com.
On this episode of Comic Movie 10, we're going to be discussing the final Deadpool trailer.
I am so stoked about this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You look back on the first Deadpool, and it was such a pioneering thing that
Right.
they made an R-rated comic book movie.
Right.
And it was like the first time, and it made such a good splash that it made a ton of money, and it broke barriers that we hadn't seen before.
It was totally original. We've never seen anything like that before in this world.
Yeah. Now we have the final trailer coming out for Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like everything that I could have imagined out of Deadpool 1 going, we want to see a second one, seems to be being teased and done correctly for Deadpool 2.
Right. So we're going to just break this down and discuss the trailer itself, break it down into the little pieces that we saw and things that we caught. Movies released on May 18th.
Yeah, little Easter eggs. Spoilers if anybody is, for some reason, wanting spoilers.
Right. So it opens up, Deadpool's kind of explaining the situation. He's got to save this kid from Cable.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs help.
Yeah. And we see the X-Force, which has been already established in the previous trailers, and we start in that scene in the helicopter where it's being, they're gearing up to do something. But this explanation that came about this kid is the first time we're really seeing the story coming together and going, okay, well, how can we piece this story together from what we've seen? And it looks like they're going to get onto this convoy that they're trying to attack by jumping out of an airplane.
Right, absolutely. And a little funny part, Deadpool, when he says, "Pump the hate brakes, Thanos."
Yeah.
Just a little reference to the fact that Josh Brolin is playing Thanos in the MCU.
Well, you know what? It's just like kind of slapping the comic book world in the face, going, you know what? Hey, this actor's playing both.
Yep.
We all know it. It's not like we don't know it.
Right.
And part of Deadpool's superpowers was that he looks into the audience and he talks to the audience and he breaks that fourth wall. And that was always said that was part of his superpowers. And now looking at this, he goes, yeah, well, he can go watch the Infinity War movie when that comes out too.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So he puts together this X-Force team.
Yeah.
Kind of like interviewing people, actually.
Yeah.
And we saw some of the from X-Force in this film.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We hadn't really gotten confirmation on what certain people were playing, what parts they were actually playing, even though it's X-Force. The only people we really knew were Deadpool and Domino because they were already listed on IMDb at that point. And now with the release of this, we now know that Terry Crews from the Old Spice commercials with Pecks of Steel, he is playing
Bedlam.
Thank you.
He's playing Bedlam. We have Negasonic Teenage Warhead is in this again.
Yeah, well, we knew she was
first
coming
one.
back.
We knew
she
that.
was coming back.
But we also found out Shatterstar.
Yeah, Shatterstar is going to be in this. We have some questions about who the comic book counterparts are for some of the other characters. Even the kid's name is listed as Russell in there. That's being played by Julian Dennison, and we don't really know who Russell is, like what comic book counterpart he is, and he's obviously playing something, and there's capabilities of him going in several different directions. So, all of these characters we're trying to still guess at, but it's nice to see that Terry Crews was definitely confirmed as Bedlam in this trailer.
Yes, because we had thought, a lot of people had thought that maybe he was playing G.W. Bridge.
Yeah.
Who was a member of
that
X-Force.
was my first thought. First thought.
And I think a little, at least to me, a more known character was G.W. Bridge.
Sure.
But so we know he's Bedlam. We also have, we said Domino and Shatterstar.
Yeah.
So
so those are confirmed.
Yeah.
But there's one other guy who's really making me think a lot, and it's Bill Skarsgård. Is playing a character, and we don't know exactly who it is. I would kind of speculate based on the comics and of X-Force, and I'll be honest, I wasn't a big follower of X-Force comics. However, looking into this, he looks like he could be someone called Zeitgeist. Who's got a very similar face piece. If you see him when he's getting out of the helicopter, out of the plane, and he's about to jump out of the plane, he's got this yellow sort of face mask that goes on, and that is really, if you look at the character zeitgeist in comics, it's a good possibility he could be playing that part. The weird part about that is Zeitgeist gets killed like within 2 comic books. So he's not a long.
So this might be quick for him.
Yeah, maybe Bill Skarsgård wanted to do more of a cameo than a long-term part. They are doing a X-Force movie, and that's already in the works and going to be planned on. So seeing these characters come together in this film is a really cool, Easter egg in itself to see them all come together previous to their actual film.
Right. Another really funny line. Deadpool gets stabbed by Cable, and Deadpool throws out a reference to DC Universe.
Yeah.
He says, "You're so dark. You sure you're not from the DC Universe?"
Yeah.
And this is like something that we've never seen before. He's crossed over into the acknowledgement of DC.
Yeah, you know what? It's that whole his superpower is being able to communicate with the audience, and being able to communicate with the audience. He's probably seen Justice League, and he's going to see Infinity War. He'll be sitting there in the theater next to you.
Yeah, but that caught me because even if it just is like shocking for some reason to people like us. They crossed.
There has been some sort of acknowledgement of in DC properties. There's been acknowledgement that Marvel exists. And that has been through the TV series, The Flash, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
There has been acknowledgement that
references
Spidey powers and the Hulk.
Yeah.
And, these have been referenced before, but in no way has there ever been a Marvel movie or a Marvel property that has acknowledged DC.
Right.
Until now.
Right.
Again, groundbreaking.
Yeah.
So that little piece of information is really important, and it's going to be something cool that they're willing to break those grounds, as well as like they did in the first movie.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean the trailer is full of action. There's a scene where Colossus is standing there.
Yeah.
And Cable just comes with a big gun, boom, and sends them flying.
Anybody who can take out Colossus is pretty powerful.
Yeah, absolutely, pretty powerful. There's a scene where he's shooting Deadpool, and a bullet goes flying and gets sliced in half. You want to talk about what that was?
This is one more Easter egg that we caught. The big 3 Easter eggs were the Thanos reference, the DC reference, and the other reference that we got when we taking a look at this was that Deadpool takes a swipe at a bullet and he splits the bullet in half, and it was completely reminiscent of the X-Men origins story,
Wolverine origins. When he played Wade, he was actually Wade.
He was Wade at the time.
But he was,
but that was also probably poking fun at himself too.
And, of course, he's poking fun at everything. So.
Yeah. Nothing seems to be off
limits.
Off limits, thank you.
Yeah.
Except my speech, apparently. So nothing seems to be off limits with him. So he pokes fun at himself. He reaches out to DC. He reaches out to the other properties that are in Marvel.
Right.
It's really cool to see these little Easter eggs.
Yeah. That was another thing.
Yeah.
That said on the screen from the studio that killed Wolverine.
Yes. In one of the earlier trailers, it said, from the studios that brought you Devil Wears Prada.
Right.
They're poking fun at all these things, and it's really refreshing to see. We really look forward to doing this, and we're definitely going to do, after we see this, we're going to definitely do an episode, and we'll link everything up.
Yes.
To see how this all turns out.
How it all turns out. And one last thing, one more member of his team.
Yeah.
Peter. And that's all I'm going to say. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the trailer.
We'll put the trailer in the notes below. If you have any comments, questions, or if you agree with us or disagree with us, if you hate what we're saying, if you love what we're saying, put some comments down below. Share, like, subscribe. It'll be fun.
We love bringing you these episodes, and we need your help to keep them coming.
Please don't forget to share and subscribe, and keep up with us at hecklakane.com.